Let's get scratching.
Hey ho, what do you know? We are back once again, guys, coming in with another video. This one is Big Brain 2000 IQ. Can you think? Can you find the answers? Because we're playing Koko Vmax Greens Edition. This deck is pretty crazy. Koko Vmax says max shock, 180 damage, 320 HP, off the rails, rail gun, shocking them. If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, your active Pokemon is now paralyzed. And so you have this crazy dynamic with this deck where you pretty much only play 2 Pokemon in the entire deck. It's kind of crazy, right? Plus Tapu Koko Prism Star, where this deck pretty much has no bad starts. You hit them up with the Boltund, you play 4 Boltund. Even if you don't get the Boltund, you play 4 Tapu Koko. This card's insane. It's got free retreat. Start off in the active. Boltund hits you up with the Electrify. We all know it, but from Pikarom, charges up energy to the active. Always go second with this deck. And then you can get 2 energies into the discard pile with Tapu Koko Prism Star, and you just start swinging. But the engine for this deck is greens. And this is the first greens engine deck I've ever played. Not to say it is a ton of fun. This card essentially says, it says search your deck for 2 trainer cards, but it's almost like if somebody asked you, hey, if you could search your deck for any 2 cards every turn, what would you get? And you'd think like, oh yeah, easy. I'll just get the 2 cards that win me the game. But that's not always the case, right? Sometimes the cards that you look for helps you set up plays or counter plays. See, the thing is, most decks in the game are kind of built around research, and the Denny's and Crowbats is just like discard your hands turn after turn after turn, just looking for like the 1 or 2 puzzle pieces that you need, Pokemon energy, so you can just start swinging. This deck works a little bit different, and you'll see why in these games, why I'm saying this. The greens build really makes you think. You don't draw through your deck the same way that you do other deck builds. Other deck builds, you'll find yourself like at the end of your deck by like your 3rd or 4th turn. Your 3rd or 4th turn, you're sitting still on like a full hand, full deck with this build. So greens is pretty insane. And to aid us, we've got the Energy Spinner to help us find 3 energies. So maybe you could do like Quick Ball, Tapu Koko on your first turn, Evolution Incense, Fan of Waves to help bump energy, get some energy now. Boss's Orders, 2 copies, Cynthia Caitlin to help us get our supporters back. Lieutenant Surge just has natural synergy with this deck. Because remember, Tapu Koko Vmax automatically paralyzes the target. If you're behind on prize cards. So you head up with Boltund, they knock out your Boltund, just like in Pikarom. They're ahead 2 prize cards, and you just start paralyzing them for free. You find your Lieutenant Surge, and then you can Lieutenant Surge for Green Boss, Marnie Boss, Research Boss, you know, whatever the case may be, Cynthia Caitlin Boss, right? There are tons of different combinations that you can do. Big Charm helps you get a little bit more HP. Air Balloon helps you pivot around. 4 Speed Lightnings to help smooth out the draw, because the draw engine in this deck is kind of F, but you do have greens. And 8 basic energies. Wondrous Labyrinth is like a nightmare for so many decks. Eternatus, Mad Party. If you're able to just get enough energy on board yourself, you just throw this out to annoy your opponent, and this game can single-handedly win you games and just buy you turns. Power Plant to help slow down your opponent. The classic plant stamp. Remember, if they knock out your Boltund and they knock out one of your Tapu Kokos, they have to go through another 3 prize Tapu Koko that puts them down to 1 prize card. So what do? You greens for one of your 2 reset stamps, stamp them to 1, put down the Power Plant so they can't Quick Ball the Denny out of it, or put down the Wondrous Lab if you're ahead in energy. There's just so many really cool interactions you can do. This is the first deck I've ever played that doesn't run 4 Quick Ball, but you really don't need 4 Quick Ball because you only play so many basics and 1 escape rope here. And 1 dog kind of helps set up pivot plays and Tapu Koko Prism plays as well. I did say this deck doesn't have any bad starters. It's not really true. technically you don't want to start Tapu Koko Prism Star, not just because it doesn't work too well as a pivot, but also because it has an ability, so you won't be able to use greens. So that's a little awkward there. So you have to like manually treat or find your air balloon so that you can retreat it, and then Tapu Koko off the board, or just wait till your opponent knocks it out, or some combination of that, so you can start using your greens. That's like the only awkward thing. But the odds of you starting Tapu Koko Prism Star is like so abysmally low, right? Because we run so many other basic Pokemon. And that's it, because you run such a low count of Pokemon, you have no bench setters, none. No Dedenne, no Crobat, no Oricorio, nothing for your opponent to prey on. They have to go through Boltund, double Tapu Koko, and you're probably thinking right now, how in the world do you get the paralysis to stick when your opponent plays 4-switch and like Mal and Lana? You'd be surprised, right? Keeping your opponent's hand size low through Marnies and Resist stamps, and they're going to be naturally using switch cards throughout the game, you will get some really clutch paralysis checks. Let me tell you, this list is insane. Check out the video. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you got the calculations on deck. But this deck is insane. This deck is really, really, really good. You have like almost no good starters, right? You only have one bad starter, and your odds of starting it are like abysmally low between the number of basics that you run. The only downside about this deck is that there are a lot of dead cards. You run 4 Boltund and 4 Tapu Koko V, but the reality is you only really need 1 Boltund and 2 Tapu Koko Vs in an entire game. This hand kind of sucks. If you don't start the Boltund, you kind of hope to have a quick ball or something to find it. I don't have. Early game Lieutenant Surge. Is he playing... Okay, I was about to say Articuno? Like, is he playing Kingdom? So this is a good matchup, obviously, because they are weak to lightning. However, our opponent will have an opportunity to win if we don't set up quickly enough. So we'll have to see if we're able to draw anything. If we top deck quick ball greens would be nice. Don't call it green Coco for a reason. Greeno Coco. We could spike draw this for 20, which is hilarious because he's weak to lightning, but I'm not gonna do that. Well, he actually still needs to find a Snome, by the way. He does need to find a Snome. Let's see if he can find a Snome. He doesn't find a Snome, so we could... so we got the Boltund. That's pretty good. Dude, I love this thing. So let me tell you. This card having free retreat for this deck... Oh, mamma mia. A pizzeria. So it's so delicious. Like... You know how many times you're playing Pikarom and you start like, you know, Pikarom or something, or Raichu, and you start Pikarom or something and Raichu, and you just You like with the switch, so you have to pass. Like, we're just straight chilling here. Like, he doesn't know how to snow him down. He probably plays Training Court. We'll just throw that down. He probably plays Training Court. He probably doesn't play any special energy. The only special energy he would play is like Washed Energy, but like there's no... Yeah, we're kind of free to just put it all on one. We could split it up. We know we're not getting knocked out next turn. We could even like... He plays... Oh, okay. Maybe I should be afraid. Is he playing Frostmoth at all? Huh. He might not actually be playing Frostmoth at all. I feel like... I don't know, I honestly feel like if I just get a bunch of energy in play, there's like nothing he can really do about it, you know what I mean? So I'm honestly, I feel like I'm content to just electrify again. Like, is that crazy? Do we have basic energies? We do. I feel like I'm content to just electrify again. He might even be stuck in the active. Yeah, I think I'm perfectly content doing that, actually. That way we just have like an incredible amount of options. Because we even knock him out with our Tapu Koko Vs. We just get like a bunch of energy in play. If he whiffs switch, we can like knock him out with Boltund too. So he does have the switch. He is weak to lightning. Looks like he doesn't play Snow at all. What's this do? Attach 2 water energies for discard pile of her Pokemon. So our opponent is playing a little bit of a interesting deck here. No Snow. That's really scary. He doesn't even knock us out because he whiffed his other energy, which is bad. This thing does 130 damage for 4. So I think my opponent knows what's going on. He's about to get knocked out. So this card, when you're behind in prize cards, you do paralyze your opponent. We don't really need to do that though. Because he's weak to lightning, so we just knock him out with Boltund. But ideally, against like more aggressive matchups that we don't hit for weakness, they'll like knock out our Boltund. We'll be behind in prize cards and we can just paralyze train them. Now a lot of people have been playing the Tapu Koko with Omastar, because Omastar has the item lock shenanigans if they have more bench Pokemon than you do. I haven't tried it yet. Sounds cheese, because you have to play like Power Plant. We do play greens, so we can like green rare candy or something like that, similar to Gengar Mimikyu. So I don't know, might not be the worst thing in the world. So we have no lightning energy in the discard pile. Yeah, he's gone. I was like, we could just escape rope, force him to give him something that he wants. But yeah, that's a dub. You know, actually show off what this deck can do. Like we already know this deck can beat Inteleon and Blastoise and, you know, whatever decks. Let's see what else it can do. Eternatus? We can beat Eternatus pretty easily, actually, because they just kind of pop off. And we can get them ahead in prize cards and just give them a bad time. So we can, in fact, beat Eternatus. It's making us go first, though, which is less than stellar. Less than stellar, less than stellar. He's gonna Marnie me? Doesn't matter. I was thinking about energy spinnering to thin out the deck so I don't like draw into an energy, but it probably doesn't matter because I'm probably gonna, if I draw into an energy, it'll probably be good because then I can greens quick ball it away. So I need to, there's a couple things I need to do. He's got a 4-card hand. If he bosses my Tapu Koko, there's no way, right? Because he still needs to bench a bunch of dudes. Still needs to bench a lot of dudes. Do you think he plays hammers? Energy Spinner? 4 basics left in deck. Don't want to evolve this one. There's no way he ever bosses it. I almost want to... Greens. Is Prism Star in the deck? He is. I almost want to like quick ball for him now while I can. So we'll do quick ball. Do I care to like plant to a Wondrous Labyrinth him? I don't think so. I don't think I really care to do that right now. He doesn't play any GX Pokemon either. Almost want to like... Probably just like get another support. Like, we have gear in hand, but we know how those usually go. I think I'm just gonna get research. I think this next turn I want to see more cards. I think I want to see more cards. More cards is sounds dope. So split up the energy. I mean, if he bosses my Tapu Koko V, do I really care? It's just a question of, do I want to play around hammers or not? I could also just double evolve too, to just eliminate that option. So if he wants to knock out, he has to go for my... That doesn't sound terrible. That doesn't sound terrible. Marnie? Nah, I think we're gonna fail that. I think we go here. It doesn't really matter. Is there a website that shows good deck lists? Tons of them. I don't use any of them, but there's tons of them. If you're asking me for a recommendation, I can't really give you one. Yeah, I'm sure you can just Google it. Like, I think, like there are tons of, you can just copy deck lists from people that are playing tournaments. So you can Google like online TCG tournaments and stuff, and they can show you what's good. My opponent has nothing. N-O-T-H-I-N-G. Research. How much damage are you doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 80, 190, 220. Is that right? With 7? I'm retarded. Right? Because 7 times 3 is 21. It's 22. So we do have a knockout if I just attach this. Let's do that. We want to be behind in prize cards usually, but I mean, this works too. He could Marnie me. I want to play around the Marnie. I'm going to put air balloon on that. I want to play around the Marnie. Or like boss. You could like, there's like no way he ever boss traps the other one because it's like an energy away, but you never know. I don't really need Big Charm at this point either. Can you send me a link for some good deck lists? I don't really, I get all my deck lists from like, I either build my own decks or I like get deck lists from like other content creators. I very rarely copy and paste deck lists. If you Google just like the Pokemon that you want, like you want Eternatus deck, just hit in Google, Pokemon TCG Eternatus Vmax deck list, and something will come up, I guarantee it. Like, so I have like 2 Boltunds and a Koko Vmax like at the bottom of my deck, but at this point in the game, those 3 cards are completely dead. So I think this deck could use, wouldn't hate a way to like discard those dead cards. I like never want to draw into those ever. Like maybe I set up a 3rd Tapu Koko Vmax, but that's such a rare occasion because at this point I kind of have to manually attach. The amount of time it's going to take me to manually attach and set up a new Koko Vmax is like not really the strat, right? Not really the strat. I'm like biting my time to see if my opponent used any special energy. He hasn't used, so he does play hammer. That's sad. Am I gonna take it off the other one potentially? We have a lot of energy in play, so he needs multiple hammerheads if he wants to cheese his way back into this game. Duskull? That might be it, you know, like a single copy of Duskull. It would suck if you happen to start it though, because it is a basic Pokemon. But at this point, my opponent's playing hammers. I'm like never setting up a third Tapu Koko Vmax, like ever. So we're even in prize cards, so we actually don't paralyze our opponent yet. Like top deck research there would be amazing. I would literally discard this entire hand. We have 2 basic energies left in deck. Let's go ahead and get the Tapu Koko Vmax out of there. Put it at the bottom. Big Charm doesn't really play a factor. But we can Big Charm this guy anyway. It doesn't really hurt. It literally doesn't matter. But we could Big Charm it. Why not? Stamp doesn't matter. We just kind of swing. And then next turn... you like boss the other one, but we have a retreat cost of 1. We only play 1 air balloon. We do play escape rope, so it's not going to be completely stuck. I may not have to hard retreat. Discarding my Lieutenant Surge doesn't feel amazing either. I love Lieutenant Surge and Green's decks. You do some amazing combos because it synergizes well, right? Like you want to be behind in prizes with this, and then you can do stuff like Surge Green, Surge Green Research. Like, there's a lot of crazy combos you can do with Lieutenant Surge. So there is some natural synergy that I like. Very, very natural synergy. I do think this is the better way to play this deck, as opposed to forcing yourself to get behind in prize cards with Magneton or Electrode. Like those cards. Well, alright, let's see if my opponent is going to cheese himself. Alright, so he's cheesing me. This cheesing me. A couple more of those and he will have successfully won the game with mere coin flips. Right, he's got 1 more left. I think we're still fine. We can still like manually attach speed lightnings. But a few more of those and he probably would have, if that was heads and he got another heads, we would probably be in trouble. Right now we're on really good track to win this game. He's probably gonna potentially switch. I can't imagine him letting me get this knockout. So I could definitely see him like switching into like Wheezing or something to try and buy himself time to set up a fresh Eternatus or something like that. He could just swing. But that means we're like a boss and a couple energies away from winning, which he does have 1 more hammer, so getting those energies on my benched Vmax might be a taller order than it sounds. So he's just gonna swing. So we're never gonna be able to paralyze him because I would be an idiot not to knock him out. There are times where I've simply passed and let my opponent knock me out. As much as I love Lieutenant Surge, we're never gonna be behind in prize cards again. So we're just gonna discard this entire hand. Don't need Boltund, don't need Great Catcher. Lieutenant Surge is a dead card. We discard all this. We need to find energy. We don't get the energy. This is not good. No way of finding it. No way of accelerating. Wondrous Labyrinth would be really good right now. Boss is useless. I mean, we could get the boss, but in case he like doesn't have Energy Vmax in hand. Wondrous Labyrinth is so good. Because he would actually buy me a turn, but he's got Chaotic Swell. I think I'm down my Power Plant too. No, I still have it in deck, I just didn't draw into it. Alright, so we're probably, from the looks of it, if he has Eternatus Vmax Energy in hand, probably gonna lose this game because I didn't draw into an energy and my opponent got one too many hammerheads. There goes a lightning energy. So he's promoting the Eternatus. That means he probably has it, I imagine. I can't imagine he would promote Eternatus under any other circumstances. Great Ball, so he whiffed. So he doesn't have it in hand. But he's got the Calm, so he does have a VMAX. Have the energy. We could hide behind Doll for a couple turns. We are like one prize away from winning. So we can like... Do you have any basic lightning left in deck? We should have at least one. He can't one hit knock this out. So we have at least 2 more turns to play with. Assuming he bosses around my Doll next turn. So we have at least 2 more turns to play with, at least. Looks like he doesn't have the energy. Or the he didn't get the VMAX either. Alright, is this it? Alright, I think that's gonna be game.
Hey, baby.
Oh, he discarded off the active. He has nothing. He's gonna Crobat here. He attaches to the Wheezing. He whiffed. My opponent whiffed. He's gonna switch. That's not gonna save him. He's gonna Marnie me because he knows I have boss in hand. We should draw into a Speed Lightning energy here. We didn't draw into a Speed Lightning energy. Greens? Do I have Energy Spinner? No, we're down all of our Energy Spinners, so greens will not find us energy. We could find Research. No. How many researches do I play? I actually forgot. So we're down all of our research. So Marnie is probably the play here. We did get Speed Lightning energy though, so that's pretty good. And that's gonna be game. Down with Eternatus, down with Crushing Hammer. This deck is saucy, man. I'm telling you, this deck is saucy. Can't keep up. Can't keep up. Even if my opponent didn't brick there, we still had some options. We could have hid behind Doll for a little bit, try and build up another one. He had no way of actually one-hit knocking out our VMAX. We still had some time to like find our energies and like manually attach and stuff. But this deck is pretty shocking. I actually kind of like these card backs. Reminds me of like OG Hard Gold Soul Silver, like actually I think reminds me more of like Gold and Silver like art. Greens in hand, Tapu Koko start. Do have Quick Ball. Ooh. Ooh. We don't play Vega Volts. We don't play Vega Volt. We do play Wondrous Labyrinth though. Wondrous Labyrinth is like insane, but I don't want to like blow my Wondrous Labyrinth too early because they might play like Swell or something. We'll hold the Big Charm gear. It's fine. Greens. Actually, do you have Power Plant here? Power Plant is prized. Doll. Is Koko Prism in here? Koko Prism isn't here. We could probably fan him. Fanning him doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world, actually. Fan? Fan seems actually busted. Let's fan him. That way he won't be able to attach energy to the bench. Yeah, fan seems busted. Turn 1 200, you think? That'd be so scary. So scary. ADPZ is fun when you want to stop losing. I mean, you don't need to play ADPZ just to win. Like, there are plenty of good decks. I'm playing one right now. You know, like Scourge, Turbo. I'd rather play Turbozard than ADP, right? I think everyone would. Like Blaze of Fallon. Eternatus is like the most brain dead deck you can play. Urshifu now is like really strong. Vagapult's really strong. There's a lot of like really strong tournament quality tier 1 decks you can play and win with convincingly and often without having to subject yourself to the ADPZ. I'm not telling you, you do whatever you want, I don't care. It's not like I'm ever gonna play you on ladder or play you in tournament. Eventually ADP will rotate. Yeah, I really don't want them. I want them to have more thought-provoking interactions. I really don't want them to. Yeah, so once I get like enough energy in play, then we'll be cruising. Cruise. Got Marnie. I'll just attach here, attack with a Boltund. Attach here so we can't one-shot it or something. Marnie. Is Wondrous Lab in the deck? Actually, don't know. Actually, I have no clue if Wondrous Lab's in the deck or not. Hit him with the Bolt Storm. Does he play a Stadium, and is Wondrous Lab in the deck? If Wondrous Lab is in the deck and he doesn't play a Stadium, that'll just be really, really detrimental for him. It'll be so detrimental he might not be able to recover from it. So we'll see. Our paralysis shenanigans is completely irrelevant in this matchup. This is the first time I've played this matchup, so I don't really know how to go about it either. Stamp to 1 is going to be huge. We don't play any bench sitters at all in this deck for him to prey on, which is nice. So he has to go through 2 more Vmaxes if he wants to win this game, which makes Stamp to 1 incredibly strong. I'm probably gonna boss up like a Crobat or something now while I can. I'll probably boss Crobat, Great Catcher, Dedenne if it's still on the field. He's probably going to Giovanni's Exile at some point. So in this matchup, I think it's better to boss with the 2 prizers sooner than later. Even though you want to like try and focus down the energy. Got Energy Spinner, that's dope. Retreat first. Evolve. Boss up a Crobat. He can never one-shot a Tapu Koko Vmax. There's not enough mad partiers in the game, so there goes Reset Stamp. It's pretty good. So at this point, I'm probably just gonna like hold this hand until 2 turns from now when he knocks out a Tapu Koko Vmax. We still got 1 Energy Spinner. Yeah, so see, that's why you want to do it sooner than later, because they will play the Giovanni's Exile if they're able to find it. You want to prioritize the Crobat there because we do play Great Catcher, so we can potentially have that play. So prioritize the Crobat over the Dene. I can't imagine him playing another Dedenne at this point. I mean, he could. I'm just gonna like greens for Great Catcher if it's still in the deck. Should be. It's not prized. We're kind of on track. Like he needs he needs to like swing into me. So check this out. So we got Energy Spinner. Let's save that. Let's greens first. We're about to find out if he plays a stadium or not. You ready, guys? He plays a stadium, and we're about to find out real quick. So Wondrous Lab. We have another basic energy in deck, so we got Energy Spinner in hand. And then I'm probably going to want... Is Lieutenant Surge ever... Yeah, we get Surge, actually. Just in case he does find a stadium, right? So we get like Surge Green next turn. It's pretty good. Cool. So drop this, get the spinner. Attach. We'll just max shock him. He has to manually attach his energy if he doesn't find. If he plays another stadium and he does get the knockout, then I do want to have the reset stamp in hand so I could stamp the 4. And that way we can like surge green and then research to like dig for another energy. So if he plays Swell, now's probably the time. If he doesn't play Swell, then that's gonna be game. He's got the triple, okay. But he can't actually triple accelerated energy of Bunnelby, so this is probably gonna be game anyway. Because at this point, so we got research in hand. At this point, we bump our stadium. We stamp him to 1. We pray that we get an energy off this research. So we surge. Greens. Second stamp. We're gonna research. So we want like dead stuff. We got 3 speed lightning energies. So we want to just kind of thin stuff out of the deck. That's what we want to do. And that's gonna be game. There it is. He probably had a dead card in his hand, so. And that's gonna be it, guys. Really appreciate it. Yo, hit me up, twitch.tv/MelloMocha. All the games that you'll see are probably streamed there. Also, please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to the clutch 100 subscribers for the channel so I can get my own custom URL. Deck list is gonna be at the bottom in the description as well if you want to give it a shot. I'm telling you, this deck is the real deal, and it will continue to develop in the meta as time goes on. It will only get better from here. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll hit you up next time. Peace.